So we're getting into the different type of tax accounts. This one is on 401ks. So a lot of times people think that they have a 401k when they have a 403b or they have another employer plan, but a 401k is for for-profit companies. So 401k, if you work for, usually if you are a public employee and your spouse works for a private company, you're going to have that. Or if you work for a private company, you're going to have a 401k. The nice thing about a 401k is you can get access at 55, or if you're separated from service, or 59 and a half, which is same like the 403b. The downfall is usually you're limited to one option. There's usually not multiple options for a 401k. It's usually a single provider option. And they could be good plans. Bigger companies usually have better 401ks. So if you work for a small company, I would say maybe 100 employees or less, you might want to take a look, because usually you'll see higher fees on those types of accounts because they're more expensive to administer. And if the employer isn't picking up that cost, then that might be rolling onto you as the employee. Okay, so just something to think about. Not saying that it is. We've seen smaller 401ks that are fantastic, but you definitely want to make sure that you're looking at what those fees can be, because we've seen them over 2.5%, which is extremely expensive. They could just go with an IRA that's not nearly that expensive. The other thing about 401k is usually you'll have an employer match there. So if you're in that situation where you have a 401k, or your spouse does, or your kids do, make sure you're contributing at least enough to match. If you can contribute more, that's great, but at least enough to match. Why? Because let's say you put in $100, if they're gonna match $100, that's an instant 100% return on your money. You have to at least match it, all right? If you wanna put in more, great, but at least match the 401k.